So I've literally just finished cleaning this car. It's shiny, as you can see the reflection and everything like that. All happy. Tire shine, everything's glistening. And then look. And this is whilst I'm here. Like whilst I've been standing over the car. Thanks. Hello people, you joined me today in my Honda Civic FN2. So myself and Callum have decided to do long-term reviews on both our dailies. So some people may have seen on our channel we have recently purchased a project car in the form of a Mark 1 MG ZS 180. But our daily drivers are what we use to start this channel, and we still get a fair few comments and questions just on, you know, how certain mods are on our car and things like that, and is it worth buying an FN2, and I'm looking to buy this, I'm looking to buy this, and I mentioned FN2 because this is going to be the long-term review of my car, the Honda Civic FN2, but we're also going to be doing one on the Mini Cooper JCW, right? So yeah, and without further ado, we're going to get into it. Quick disclaimers though, this video will be fairly lengthy, and the reason why it's going to be fairly lengthy is just simply for the fact that there is a lot to cover. We try and keep our videos fairly short so we don't lose people's attention spans, but this is for those that are genuinely interested, and I will try and put as many overlays and cinematics and anything that relates to this car or anything I've had done to the car within the video, so at least you're interested. You'll be seeing the beautiful beast instead of seeing me. I know some of your saddest cause, fine, calm down, but it's all good. Yeah, so sit back, relax, get your tea, your coffee, whatever you're sipping, and let's go. So what is this car? It is a 2011 Honda Civic Type R FN2 GT. So it's a Type R GT. Should have said it like that. Well, yeah, and because it's a 2011 one, it does have the factory fitted LSD. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is from what I understand. The FN2s that were built after March or April 2010 were fitted with factory LSD as standard. All of the other ones that have a factory fitted LSD are the Mugen 200s and the Championship White, which are 2009 models, I think, and there's only 600 of them that were built. So yeah, and it's great, by the way. Going for the later model with the LSD was definitely worth it. But you don't have to get one from LSD now. You can buy one and then save up to have the LSD fitted. It's up to you. So yeah, and it is finished in 98% Nighthawk black, which for me, black was the only color I was going to go for in the Type R because I love black cars. 98%. Why is it 98%? Stone chips. Stone chips. Stone chips. Stone chips. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, the paint is just old and weak, so yeah. Well, the first point I have is it was actually a car I always wanted to own. I have a picture from years ago when I was in college, and my friend bought a showroom at the time, FN1, which is the Type S. It was a 1.8 VTEC thing, and it had all the bells and whistles in it. And I was sat on the inside of the car, and I looked at the interior, and I was like, one day I'm gonna own. I actually said one day I will own. I did this called the Type R of it, and look where I'm set. So yeah, many moons ago, yes, but we got there. The looks of it is what blows you away. There are very good pictures out on the internet of FN2s, but pictures don't ever do any car justice. And this one, I would say, is especially true. I will try and get as many cinematics of this from every beautiful angle I can think of, but it's not good enough. You need to see one in person if you're actually thinking of buying one. Yeah, trust me, you want to see one in person. It's still very much a head turner, 100%, and it looks are ahead of its time for a car that was designed firstly in 2006, late 2006. It's impressive. And the other thing was practicality. So yes, I love EP3s, and truth be told, let's be real, I was looking at an EP3 first before getting this, but I used to do a lot of mileage in a year, and I wanted something with more of the creature comforts, cruise control, you know, essentially a nicer place to sit. And after having my first Civic, which was the EP shape, right, I wanted to try the newer one, and I don't regret it. Not one bit. Plus something a little bit more refined and newer. That's what I was looking for, something more refined. They were mixed, not because of the car, but because of the garage I bought it off. Shout out to them. You are officially the worst garage I've ever been to. Car shopping, not just for myself, but with anyone, the worst. I can't even remember what they're called, or else I really would put them on blast. They were terrible. Callum will tell you, diabolical. My little brother came with me. They just were not interested in anyone or anything like that. But when I saw the car, in which they put £5 of fuel in, by the way, typical dealership stuff, I genuinely looked at it and I was like, I want it. It was imperfect. There's no other way of putting it. It had done 69,000 miles as of the time, but the car was on budgets at the front. There were weird marks all over the side. Well, not all over the side, but along the side of the car. And essentially it was just not in its best shape. It has done over 100,000 miles to this date, right now as I'm recording this, and it is a much better state than it was when I first bought it, just to put that into perspective. Not just because of the mods, but generally because there has been care and all that stuff in it. So yeah, when I first drove the car, the thing that most impressed me is the first time I've actually experienced VTEC at the time. And Callum had a GT86 at the time, and he did not love that car. And when I put my foot down, he immediately was like,
yeah, this is faster than my car.
So yeah, it was very impressive. And when I drove back, we obviously had a few twisties near where I live in Hertfordshire, and seriously, even on budgets, the handling out of the box is very impressive. Very impressive. I know I keep saying impressive. But seriously, it is... Well, I can't describe it. You have to see it for yourself. You have to try it for yourself. I'm going to stick to my list here and maybe ad-lib on them a little bit more, just because I've put a few down here. I touched on it earlier, the looks, both outside and inside. Interior, under the engine bay, you see that K20 engine, which is just... And then you look at the lights, mine has xenons on them, and especially when it's summer and the sun starts to go down, as it is a little bit now, the way in which the lights come on, it's all black. It just looks mean. My little sister says it looks like the bullet from Mario Kart, which is actually a pretty cool comparison. and I'll take that compliment all day. It just looks mean. It looks mean, but beautiful at the same time. It's a very good looking car. The performance. Now, I have not done any power mods, and I know 200 brake horsepower in a hatchback really is not the biggest of figures. Yeah, I fully get that, and I fully understand it. But trust me, for a car that is my daily, and for the roads that I drive on, which is a mixture of a little bit of motorway but a lot of B roads when I'm doing a daily commute, I have not felt once that I am lacking in power. Not once. Not even a little bit. And I genuinely mean that. Like, it's not once I've sat in here and I've been like, oh, I need more power. Want is a different thing. Yes, eventually one day down the line I want more power, but I'm in no rush. Absolutely none. And for those that have been in our channel or have been subscribers of our channel for a while, you will know that our ethos when we reviewed our cars, our own cars separately, we very much appreciate the cornering of a car over the power of a car. I.e., a car can have a lot of horsepower, but if it can't corner, then no, I'm not powering it. So yeah, and this car definitely does that. And the sound, just the sound of the engine, even before I had the silencers removed, believe me, it's an occasion. It is an occasion. And the cornering grip is perfect. I've done mods to add to that and to get how I would like it for a daily, but I'll get onto that later. The interior, I've already said, is awesome. With the double din in it, actually it makes it even more modern than it already is. You put the key in and you twist it and everything comes up red, and yeah, it's just a beautiful place to be. I know I'm just being very vague, but seriously, I sit in this car and it doesn't tell me it's age. Not at all. Not one bit does it feel dated in here. The reliability, I've not had one problem with this car. Yes, there are usual wear and tear things, i.e. shocks that needed to be replaced, and brake pads that needed to be replaced. I think I'm starting to get sticky calipers or sticky caliper at the rear. Those are minor. Not once have I been, not once is it broken down, not once is it shut off on me. Nothing at all. So yeah, and I keep on top of my maintenance, which again is something I'll touch on further. It's more about miles per gallon than it is miles per gallon. That's another thing I will say. It is a jack of all trades. This car is very spacious. There isn't actually, within reason, there isn't anything that this car cannot do. So for example, I have had a 2-seater sofa, an old one, so it's fairly big, with the back seats down, parcel shelf gone, sat in the back of this car, boot shut. I took it to the dump and it was fine. That much space. The boot is massive. It's just, it's daily. It is daily perfection. It's different. Especially for the price point. There isn't anything close, not in my opinion. Okay. It's not the easiest car to work on. I know every FN2 owner out there has got to be thinking this as well. The engine bay is tight. If you have fairly big-ish hands, even to change the bulb, you have to like crimp your finger, you crimp your hands just to get to the light bulb cover. It's annoying. It is annoying. Just build yourself up for a load of trim removal and whatnot, then clip removal as well. Tire wear. Now I've put that with a question mark next to it because I have gone through, on the fronts, I've gone through 3 sets of tires now, right? I'm currently testing PS4s on the front, and I've got asymmetric 5s on the back from when I first did an all-round change. They're due to be changed, to be fair, and I will be changing them this summer, but it goes through a lot of tires. And I know I drive a little, I was gonna say a little bit aggressive, but I can hear Callum like literally laughing all the way from his house. But seriously, I know I drive aggressively, but the tire wear is excessive. It's a lot. I don't know if that's just me. Let me know if you have similar experiences, those that own this car. And the turning circle is diabolical. If I go to London and I know I need to do a U-turn or I need to go around a tight corner, I prepare myself. The turning circle is not good, but then again, you just kind of live with it. Again, I'm just mainly nitpicking. Let me just be honest. I'm just nitpicking, but yeah, the turning circle is not good. It's not good. Roof rust. It's the first one that comes to mind. So along the seal of the windscreen, I'm doing that because the windscreen's just here for me. There is rust. So where I don't know where they haven't really done a quality control from factory on these cars, and it's literally just there. Probably about £300 to £400 to get fixed and corrected properly. But yeah, there's that. Snapping drive shafts. I haven't had this issue. The roof rust thing is there, but I don't have an issue with the drive shafts. Whilst I do drive aggressively, I don't launch my car, which apparently is one of the ways to get it done. So yeah, and there are strong aftermarket replacements at decent prices. I think they're J&R drive shafts, according to forum group. So yeah, but it hasn't happened to me thus far. Boot leaks. Yes, so a problem with this car is where there's a lack of, I think it's like sealant at the back. The boot has a secret compartment underneath it, and when it rains, you can get a slight puddle of water underneath. So I've seen like light cases of this, and I've seen really extreme, like a lot of water through the boot, like someone's just held a hose pipe there. A way to fix it, well, there's multiple different ways of entry at the back. I think they said tail lights, near the where the fuel cap is, there's a gutter in there that gets clogged, and also the boot seal itself. So yeah, but that I haven't had. Roof rust, yes. The other two, get yourself on Facebook car groups. Car groups in general are helpful, but in regards to the FN2 community, honestly, it's great. Like you guys that may be watching this are part of it and have helped me with certain decisions or places I can get things at a good price and whatnot. Very, very handy. The second thing, maintenance. And this isn't in order of priority, it's just things that are coming to my mind and what I put on the list. Keep on top of your maintenance and let your maintenance be at a good grade. Don't put cheap oil in your car. Don't use cheap spark plugs. Oh, it works, it fits, so I'm just gonna put it. No. This car will only run as long as you want it to run. i.e., if you look after it, it will look after you. Believe me, I live by that. You have to make sure that when you're buying this car, you have the budget to maintain it too. It's not an expensive car to maintain, in my opinion, especially your oil. These cars love to burn oil. So keep on top of your oil. 5W40. Nothing else. I know some people use 5W30. I've used 5W30 on occasion, but 5W40 is the one to go for. Doesn't burn as quickly as 5W30. Don't cheap out on modifications either. Don't. Do things according to your taste, but do it properly. You don't want to ruin the rest of your car. You don't want to ruin what your car was before you did the modification, if that makes sense. So yeah. My current modifications, I have a list below so I don't forget them. It's not a long list, but I've got teen or tine lowering springs. They're 50mm at the front and 20mm at the back. I've got Teggy Well spacers as well, 50mm at the front, 20mm at the back. I've got a fast road setup, which was done by TDI North. And that is awesome, but I'll get onto that in a little bit. The silencer's been deleted, so it's actually quite cool. I liked it at first. I do still like it, but I mean, I'll get onto that. I'll see if I like it even further. I've got a double din, as I mentioned earlier. I've got Brembo brakes, so big brake kit at the front, and with red EVC pads, which are great, and wind deflectors, which I had to replace because the first ones I had, the driver's side flew off on the M11. Yeah, that actually happened. So yeah, the ones I would recommend: the lowering springs, the spacers, and the fast road setup, and the double din. My favorite ones out of those recommendations is definitely the fast road setup and the double din. The reason why I say the fast road setup is because it just changes the way the car turns in and essentially your mid-corner grip. That's what I've taken with these, and I cannot express it enough. It just unlocks something else in the car. Imagine with coilovers on a fast road setup, and this is the LSD model. With that, an LSD, coilovers, and a fast road setup, you'll be laughing. You'll be absolutely laughing. The other thing I'd mention as well, the other one I favorited was the double din radio. It's my partner when I'm driving. It essentially brings my phone to life when I'm driving. So I use Android Auto a lot. I only mainly use Android Auto when I'm making journeys, and I can just talk to the car, tell it to play whatever track, take me to a certain place. I don't need to type or anything like that at all, and I don't need to have my phone out on display on the dash, which to me is quite important. The lowering springs help and added to the handling 100%, definitely. But the reason why I picked the fast road setup as my favorite over the springs is because you can get the fast road setup done without lowering springs. You can do it on standard springs. And TDI North did my setup for £144, and they were awesome, by the way. Highly recommend going there if you have any work to do and if you can make the commute. And if you live there, then you're lucky. Yeah, and the spacers I recommended as well, mainly because they do push the wheels out in the arches. These cars, the wheels sit very, very far into the arches for my liking. With the spacers out, it just makes the stance of the car so much better. So much better, and it hugs the road a bit better, in my opinion too. Only in my opinion. So for me, I do want to keep this car looking OEM plus. That's very important to me. The reason why I say it's very important to me is because I want it to be like the ultimate FN2 as you could have got out of factory, right? In my own opinion and taste. So with that, I'm not going to do the Mugen spoiler. I think it looks great on cars, but it's not to my taste. Like, it's just too much. And I like the spoiler that comes with it. I don't feel like I need to change it for my own build. But I do want a GP kit, and I will be doing a full GP kit on this car at some point. Power wise, there's either two routes I'm going, and none of them are forced inducted. None of them. It's either I do a K24 Frank build, which essentially is you have half a K20 and half a K24 engine. I don't know what way that works. I don't know if it's the head of the K20 or the head of the K24, vice versa. But yeah, the people have been getting quite a bit of power from that. I think I saw an EP3 that had 290 something brake horsepower from that sort of build, which is crazy to think. It being naturally aspirated and 4 cylinders. So yeah, there's that. Or I literally just do all of the drop in and add and bolt on mods on this, make it breathe better, and unlock the K24 as much as I possibly can. Cams, air intake, exhaust manifolds, remap. What else am I thinking of? Something else I'm missing. I can't remember. I have a list on my computer, but yeah, and just do that. And I know you can get up to about 240 to 250. Oh yeah, throttle body, and the intake manifold. Sorry, yes. So yeah, maybe either one of those two will be coming in the future. And I know none of them are cheap, especially the K24 Frank build, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. And NA Screamer, 100%. I eventually will probably get coilovers, and I will definitely be poly brushing the car at some point. I just don't know when. It's not high on the priority list, and car drives fine as it is. So yeah, it will definitely be coming in the future. I will be getting a custom exhaust, or maybe an aftermarket exhaust that's already been created but isn't so loud. So if anyone has any recommendations, please get in the comments, let me know. A respray, definitely a front end respray. That's like the bare minimum. I will 100% be doing that. But I don't know if I'm better off just doing a full respray and saving up a bit more money. But that won't happen until maybe like next year or whenever it is. So yeah, we'll see. And a wheel refurb, definitely. I'm not going for aftermarket wheels. I've gone back and forth with it, and I've actually like favorited a lot of wheels that I could like. But I like the wheels. I like the standard wheels in this car. I used to think they were a bit too skinny for how wide the body is, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, nah, it's fine. And driving wise, it's perfect. So yeah. Plus, it means I keep my tire costs low, which, as established earlier, is something I definitely need to. History tells the story of the car, and I cannot stress that enough. See, this car, cosmetically, when I bought it, as I said earlier, it wasn't in good condition at all. But it had full, up-to-date Honda service history. And make sure you do your background checks. I know this is all basic stuff, but seriously, these cars are known to be bulletproof, yeah, but if you buy one that's been completely and utterly destroyed and unloved, like it's been bounced off the limit or just going to the shops, but it's never had a service for 2 years and for 30,000 miles or whatever, then what are you doing? Of course it's going to be terrible. It won't last. It won't last. Oil starvation will kill any engine. So test drive the car and test drive it well. Make sure VTEC engages. It doesn't mean you have to bounce it off the limiter, but take it somewhere where you can really open it up, right? And make sure you listen for knocks. Look out for the shock absorbers, because the Sachs shock absorbers that come with these cars, they're good, yes, but they're not entirely that durable. And I'm gonna get people in the comments like, oh my god, how can you say that? It's not just me that says it. There's quite a few people on forums that say it. Look in the boot for residue, right? Especially if you go and see it like close to when it's rained. Have a look. If you see if it feels damp, yeah? Roof rust, check that out. How long has that been left? If you get an early model like a 2007 one, then have a look at that. Oh, another thing that just came to my mind, which has recently started to happen with people that have earlier models, the rear beam can crack. So if you look out for an earlier model around £3,000, £3,500, which is what they kind of go for, to jack up the car, have them jack up the car and let it be inspected first. Especially if it's at a garage, have a look properly. Especially if you hear knocking from the back. That could be anything, to be fair. Exhaust hanger missing, or a loose caliper carrier. And don't ask me how I found that out, because I ain't gonna tell you. Definitely stick by what you're looking for in regards to the spec of the car and the condition of the car, but know that you will need to do some work to the car as well, because it's quite old. So just pay attention to that. This car is not the fastest, right? It's not the fastest. It is not the newest, or anything like that. But for the money, you cannot beat it. You cannot beat it. You can't. There isn't anything else that can offer you, or that this car can offer you at this sort of price point. Yes, the later ones cost more money, but they're worth it if you get them for the LSD, for sure. And if you haven't seen that video, then definitely go through our channel and have a look at it. Yeah, I say to this is the longest I've had a car, and I genuinely say, like, for the reasons of price, looks, my sheer attachment to this car, I've made it my own. This is my partner in crime. There is no way that, like, I can say, okay, I'm gonna sell it and then get what? Something else? Yes, an FK2 would be lovely, and I'd love to own one of them one day, but they're so expensive. They are so expensive, and they're only going up. The other thing I thought of getting is an Integra DC5, and they're awesome, but again, it's the same predicament as getting an EP3, because they're around the same age. You lose the creature comforts, because it would have to be my daily. I can't afford to run 2 cars. I can't afford to run 3 cars. Sorry, we've got a project car. Like it's it's just it, and in a sense is this car just in a different chassis? Is this engine in a different chassis and a little bit more power? But seriously, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed in this car. I haven't. Not once has it missed a beat. Not once have I gotten out and I'm like, ugh, I don't want it. Pick your battles. Don't go racing no Golf R or anything like that with your standard FN2 and then come back and you're like,
oh my god, I got smoked.
You're always gonna get smoked when you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Honestly, and truth be told, on a B road, I have not been beat. I haven't. Not once. Because this car is just built for it. It honestly just built for it, and then some. And I guess the last thing I'll just say is you just look at it. If it makes you double take, if you buy a car and it makes you double take, i.e. you walk away from it, you're still walking away from it, and you just turn around and you're still checking it out, it's the one. It's the one. And I can't put it any better than that. So yeah. If you do have anything to add, right, or I may have missed anything, you have any questions, please do let us know. I mean, we reply to every single comment, as long as you're respectful. Honestly, seriously, it's we like the interactions, and I like talking to other FN2 owners to see like their reviews and their thoughts on things. You know, it's important. And the other thing as well, just as we're signing out, we do appreciate every single subscriber we have. We appreciate every single view and every single comment. And I know that's like the usual speech of YouTubers, but genuinely speaking, showing it, showing the likes, showing the comments that you have, or the appreciation that you have for these videos, honestly goes such a long way. I cannot explain it. This car will never be like banished from the channel. It's still my life. It's still very much my daily car. And that's the same with Callum's Mini, right? So seriously, like we love it, but we appreciate it, and it's just, it would be great if you guys could continue to do so. So yeah, enough of the begging. Thank you, and thanks if you stuck around this the whole time as well, for the whole video, because I know I've been waffling a lot and my mouth is dry. So to that, cheers, and yeah, till the next time, later.